Hi, everybody. This is an MS Neuro TV virtual program. Yes, we are online. Obviously, you wouldn't be here to watch this, right? So tonight, first off, my name, for those that don't know, I am Stuart Schlossman. I'm a multiple sclerosis patient. I'm also the president and founder of MS News. So many people are tired of hearing that, but heck, we do a lot of programs, so you do get to hear about it a lot of times, all right? So tonight, we're supported by BIOGEN and Bristol-Myers Squibb. And we have, and you hear Dane in the background, all right? That's Megan's little one, and he can be heard at times in the background, but that's okay. We all need kids in our lives, right? So tonight's program, we have Megan Weigel, and Megan Weigel is a doctor of nurse practitioner. She is out of the Jacksonville Beach area. Her discussion tonight is healthy habits for the MS community. Before we get started, I want everybody to please say, take 5 seconds, please, and have some good thoughts going or some special prayers for the many, many people that have perished that they already know about, that they don't know about because of Ida. Okay, this hurricane was enormous. It did a tremendous amount of damage on the Gulf Coast and has just created a path all the way to the Northeast. And unfortunately, I just read that so far they have found 41 people dead in the Northeast, and that's just incredible. All right, so I hope everybody knows people that are safe, and just think some good things for a few seconds here. Thank you. Megan, have fun. Enjoy the next 30 to 35 minutes.
Hey, Stuart, thank you so much. It's good to be with you guys. I am here tonight to give you some really practical habits about how to healthy up your life. And how to create a good day, no matter what's presented to you. We're going to get really comfortable as we start with a heart-centered meditation. Yes, you are actually going to meditate right now. We're going to talk about what makes a day feel positive to you, and also talk about roadblocks to good days that people living with MS have. And then more importantly, we're going to talk about ways to manage those roadblocks. And we're going to go through elements of mind, body, and spirit to help you manage those roadblocks, and I'll give an example of setting a goal for each of those things. So without further ado, let's try a heart-centered meditation. I'd like for all of you to just get seated in a comfortable position. You can stay wherever you are. Just make sure that you're comfy. And once you are comfortable, you can close your eyes, you can relax your body, and just put your focus on your breath. I want you to try to take longer, slower, and deeper inhales, and longer and slower and deeper exhales than you usually do. So that means that you're really filling up your chest from top to bottom. And then you're emptying your breath out all the way. Just when you think you're done emptying your breath, push it out a little bit more. And then fill up again. Then empty out. Get really comfortable with this breath. This breath teaches your body that it doesn't have to run from anything. It teaches your body that you are not in danger. It teaches your body that it can be in a state of positivity instead of a state of negative emotion, negative response, reactivity. Your inhales might be 4 to 6 seconds long, and your exhales should match that. Whatever kind of deep breath you can take without having to struggle. And hopefully you're comfortable with that rhythm of breath right now. So I'd like you to focus your attention on your heart center. Your heart center could be the literal center of your chest, or it could be the left side of your chest where your physical heart lives. But put your attention on that part of your body and imagine that your breath is coming in and out of your heart center. Still that same restorative breath, inhaling long and slow and deep, and exhaling long and slow and deep. Imagining that your breath is coming in and out of your heart center. You're just here now, letting go of any negativity that's come your way today. Bringing in heart, bringing in the things that matter. And as you breathe in through your heart center, call to mind all the people that you love or care about. Just call them to mind behind your eyes in your mind's eye. You can see them as a sea of people. There may be a couple, there may be several, there may be hundreds. You might call to mind, in addition to the people that you love or care about, people who have been affected by Ida, people who have been affected especially by this round of COVID, people who have been affected by Afghanistan, just simply people that need love and care. You can call them to your mind's eye. And on your next exhale, send love and care out through your heart center to all these people. And on your next inhale, breathe in the gratitude and the love and care from all of those people that are in your mind's eye. And continue to breathe out love and care and to breathe in love and gratitude for 2 more cycles of breath. Mommy! Let your next inhale be a little bit longer. And on your next inhale, open your mouth and sigh. Ha. And then gently open your eyes. Let the light back in slowly. We'll come back together.
Let's go.
Know that all of us here care about each other, and that's what this time is about. Next slide. So what makes you guys say today was a good day? Think about it. If we were like on Zoom right now, I could have a million chats going on in the box, but think about what makes you say today was a good day. you've got a pen and paper in front of you, maybe you write down a few things. I've got a bunch of things written down that we'll take a look at. Here are some common things that make people say, hey, I had a good day today. Things like accomplishing something. Maybe it was your to-do list got done. Maybe it was having a good day at work or meeting physical goals, like I did that exercise today, or mental goals, like I chased that negative thought away today. Maybe it was learning something new. Maybe it was feeling loved, like just now in this meditation, you might have felt loved. It might have been seeing loved ones, getting a good healthcare report from one of your doctor's visits, laughing, having energy when you usually feel fatigued, feeling valued or appreciated, seeing the sunshine, doing something you love, singing, just in the shower, while you're in the kitchen, cooking, while you're in the car, being free of pain, enjoying a good meal, not having anxiety, having time to relax. These are all things that make people say, I'm having a good day. There are also, however, roadblocks to good days. And roadblocks can be related to MS or not. Let's take a look at some of the things that I listed as roadblocks specific to MS. Things like pain, fatigue, worry because maybe your MS symptoms are flaring up or you have new ones. Healthcare appointments, like I'm so tired of going to doctors and specialists and therapy appointments. Also just the world right now and all the things. It's what I talk to my girlfriends about when they say, well, what's troubling you? All I can say is all the things. Having different viewpoints from people I care about or you care about. Not feeling supported, feeling rushed, feeling like there's never enough time to complete everything you want to, having a lot of decisions to make. Wondering where your medication is. I'm sure many of you have a specialty pharmacy story about worrying about whether or not something was going to come in time or whether the right specialty pharmacy was called for your disease-modifying therapy. Poor nutrition can actually cause bad days. Hangovers can cause bad days. Sedentary lifestyles can cause bad days. You know, not moving your body makes things creaky and painful, and negative self-talk also causes really bad days. So what can we do about those things? How can we manage the roadblocks? So we're going to talk tonight about supporting your mind, your body, and your spirit. We'll start first with your mind, and these are really practical suggestions. So I encourage people to make manageable to-do lists. And that might mean that because you are now dealing with fatigue, or you are dealing with pain, or you are dealing with many doctor's appointments, or many new things that you have to do because of MS, the things that you used to accomplish in a day might take a week for you to accomplish. So make a manageable to-do list. Many of you may have heard of the spoon theory. When you live with an autoimmune disease like MS, you have a jar of spoons that are usable for you each day. And if you use up half your spoons in the morning to clean the house, for example, or to run a bunch of errands, and you need 3/4 of your spoons to attend, say, a baseball game for your child at night, guess what happens? You run out of spoons before nighttime. And that means for most people, you're in bed for a day or two because you didn't manage your spoons right. So create a manageable to-do list. If your list is overwhelming, you look at it, you think it's manageable, and you're like, what am I thinking? literally say, who is going to die or get hurt if X doesn't happen? No one is going to die or get hurt if your toilet doesn't get cleaned today. No one is going to die or get hurt if the laundry doesn't get folded today, or if the laundry doesn't get done today. So certainly we don't want these things to pile up, but I think you get the gist of how prioritizing is important. Someone might get hurt if you don't pick up your medication, and that person might be you. So prioritizing that might come to the top of the list. Someone might get hurt if you don't eat healthfully during the day. So you would want to put that at the top of the list. We're going to talk tonight about making SMART goals. SMART goals are things that are specific, manageable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. And I'll help you with that as we go through some of these components. So another important part of just letting your mind know that it doesn't always have to be running from the tiger, as I say. It deserves to be operating from a place of calm. Are to have your support team contacts available in case you need them. Limit your news watching and your social media time. And if you're compelled to watch the news or look at social media, don't do it before bed. It gets your mind going in a not so good way. It tends to it's like a gateway drug, right? So you see something on Instagram and then you look it up on the internet, and then before you know it, an hour has gone by and then you can't sleep. So don't do these things before bed. Deal with MS and your other health conditions. Like, just get the things that you need to do dealt with so you don't have to worry about them. And by that, I mean, make sure your medications are refilled on time. Make sure that your doctor's appointments are scheduled as they need to be, so that you're not scrambling to get in to see doctors or healthcare providers when you really need them. Make sure that other health conditions are taken care of. If you have heart disease or diabetes or thyroid issues, make sure you have those appointments set up, so that, again, they're just things that you can check off your list to set your mind at ease. Oh, I have my primary care appointment for my well check this year coming up. I don't have to worry about scheduling that. And then schedule time for body and spirit. So making sure that those things are a priority keeps your mind calmer. Let's look at a SMART goal for our minds. Let's look at specifically MS management. So keeping regular MS checkups can really calm us down. Regular MS checkups include annual MRIs, if that's the frequency with which you and your MS provider have talked about, going over your MRIs with your MS provider. Thinking to yourself, well, do I have new symptoms I need to talk to that person about? Have I noticed any changes in my ability to move or think? Is my disease-modifying therapy working for me? Is it working for my MS? Like, I might really love this, but are my MRIs quiet? Am I not having relapses? Am I not having disability change? Do you need a rehab tune-up? Have you been hiding behind the telemedicine camera for 1.5 years now, and you're realizing that your life is much more sedentary than it used to be? You're having a harder time transferring from a chair to a couch or the bed to a chair. You're spending more time in a chair than you used to. Do you need some physical therapy? Do you need any specialty referrals? Do you need to see a urologist, a gastroenterologist, a psychologist, any other ologist? And how about your other medical conditions? Are they well taken care of? So now we'll talk about a healthy mind goal. And all of these goals are outlined in that SMART algorithm. So a specific goal: I want to watch less news. Is it measurable? Yes, I will watch only 15 minutes in the morning and before dinner. Is it achievable? It certainly is, because currently I watch 1 to 2 hours of news twice a day. And reducing my news time gives me more time for other things that make me feel healthy. Is it relevant? It sure is, because I notice that I am anxious and angry when I watch the news. When I feel this way, I can't think as well. I get headaches. And watching less news, therefore, helps improve my overall health. Is it time bound? Certainly it's time bound. I'm going to achieve this by the end of 1 week. It's going to be great. So that's a smart goal example for you. Let's talk about our bodies now. We're going to talk about nourishing our bodies, moving our bodies, and resting our bodies. We'll start with nourishment. If you have heard me talk before, you've heard me speak of this basic tenet: eat food, not too much, mostly plants. My son just brought me a wooden grilled cheese sandwich. Nom, 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 nom. It's delicious. Thank you. That didn't follow Michael Pollan's rules. Eat food, not too much, mostly plants, doesn't mean you have to be a vegetarian. It just means that most of your plate should be coming from foods that grow from the ground. I like to say the right diet for you is the one that you will follow. So when people ask me, well, what's the best MS diet? I say, well, if I tell you to follow a vegetarian diet and you still want to eat meat, are you going to do what I tell you to do? Nope. You would probably prefer the Walls protocol. So there are a bunch of different diets for MS. This talk tonight is not about that. There have been plenty of talks about that, and I'm sure we'll do plenty more in the future if Stuart will let us. But there is a right diet for you, and actually any of those diets for MS are plant-based, just so you know. Drink plenty of water daily, and then, let's go back, sorry. Take a look at what you eat. What can you take out that's bad for you, literally bad for you, and you don't need it? There's no nutritional value. Can you take out soda? Can you take out excessive alcohol? Can you take out sweet tea? Sorry. Can you take out sweet tea? Can you take out processed snacks or desserts, foods that have more than 5 ingredients? If you could just pick one of those things to do during, let's say, a week, you succeed. Pick another one the next week, you're doing a great job. What can you put in? I like to say add in a handful of greens with each meal. So you've got, let's say, chicken, rice, broccoli on a plate. Throw in a handful of greens. The more greens you have, the better off your body is. Add ground seeds or healthy nuts to oatmeal or to salad. So an example is chia seeds or flax seeds and oatmeal. You can also sprinkle those on salads. You can sprinkle slivered almonds on salads. You're getting good fats. You're getting magnesium. You're getting lots of good nutrition. You can go ahead. Thanks. So then moving your body. Choose activities that make you happy. It's a little difficult right now. I thought we would be back out in the communities doing things together, but unfortunately, because of the current COVID environment, we're limited in many areas, especially in my area in Florida, to still being virtual. But there are so many virtual opportunities for activities when you live with MS or you have adaptive needs. You can also just move to music. Turn on your favorite songs in the house, turn on your favorite genre of music, and let your body go. Move your body. Exercise at your best time of day. For some people, that's morning. For some people, it's afternoon. For some people, it's splitting up exercise because doing 30 minutes at a time is a little too much for fatigue. That's fine. Split it up. Use cooling equipment. Use neck wraps, use wristlets, use an ice pack around your waist, use a cooling vest, have cool water with you. Even if you're exercising inside in the air conditioning, your core body temperature is still increasing. And that means you need to cool down in order for your nervous system to work better. Doing something is better than doing nothing. So if you're tired or if you're in pain and you just think that stretching a little bit is going to help your body that day, just do that and give yourself a big thumbs up for moving your body. we really also have to rest. So all this talk about these things to do, it even just makes your mind exhausted. But rest is so, so important. Poor sleep is associated with insulin resistance, and that's something that we definitely don't want to incorporate into lives with MS. So here are some tips for resting. Avoid using electronics for at least an hour before bed, and that directly goes into that goal of not watching the news or being on social media before you go to sleep. If you do read on a handheld device, use a blue light filter on the screen or blue light blocking glasses. Avoid caffeine, excessive alcohol, and sugar before bed. Also avoid heavy meals before bed. And one of the best things you can do is create a calming bedtime ritual. So after dinner and after things are done in the house that you need to do, maybe you write down 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for in a gratitude journal. Maybe you do some gentle stretching. There's a yoga pose called Legs Up the Wall that is fabulous for calming your nervous system and getting ready for sleep. You just lay on the floor and put your legs up the wall. It's also called waterfall pose. You can use lavender essential oil to help your body get ready for sleep. You can diffuse that in your bedroom. You could consider drinking a decaf herbal tea as well. That's if you don't have to get up and pee all night. And I mean that seriously. So here's a smart, healthy body goal. Specific. I will stop drinking soda and instead drink water. Measurable. Yep, I'm not buying soda at the grocery store. Instead, I'm going to buy a refillable water bottle. And some of you may have seen the ones with fun sayings like, keep going, you did it, you can do it, all the way up or down the water bottle. It's achievable. Yeah, I'm motivated to do it because I drink soda and just get heartburn, and that doesn't feel good. Is it relevant? It's relevant. My healthcare provider told me my blood sugar is going up and my liver enzymes are a little high. He said I needed to change something in my diet, and getting rid of sugar was the best thing to do. Is it time bound? Yep, I'm going to try it for 2 weeks, and if I feel better, I'm going to keep going. So moving on to spirit. One of the things that I love to do is to start my day with a positive affirmation. And you can actually put a Post-it note on your mirror in the bathroom or a little note next to your bedside table. Some people write in lipstick on their mirrors, something like, you are great. You are amazing. You are a superhero. Today is going to be great for you. But seeing that the minute you wake up is really motivating. Making time for mindfulness or meditation is also extremely helpful to nourish your spirit. Many apps are still free because of the pandemic. My favorite apps for meditation are Insight Timer, Calm, Oak, and Headspace. If you're interested in a more of a religious feel to an app, I like the app Hallow, which is a Catholic-based app. The other thing I love to do to nourish my spirit and to encourage people to nourish theirs is to exercise your creativity. And this doesn't have to mean that you're an artist. Journaling is exercising your creativity. Coloring, an adult or kid, I colored my kids' coloring books all the time. Arranging flowers, planting a garden, playing with your kids or your grandkids, all of those things exercise your creativity. They take you back to that childlike joy that's so important for our spirits. Remembering to breathe, like we did earlier, just taking, say, 3 to 5 of those long, slow, deep, heart-centered breaths nourishes your spirit, nourishes your mind and body, and then connecting with loved ones, however you feel safe doing that right now. So our healthy spirit goal is around meditation. I will spend 5 minutes in meditation before I go to bed. It's measurable because the app I use logs my meditation time. A lot of those apps I mentioned actually do log your meditation time, and you get little awards when you've achieved certain time goals. Is it achievable? Yeah, because usually before bed, I'm just scrolling through Facebook and then I lose my sleepiness. So I'm motivated to have an easier time falling asleep. Is it relevant? Yeah, my healthcare provider wants me to try meditation before bed before I try medication for sleep. And is it time bound? Yeah, my next appointment with my healthcare provider is in a month. So I'm committed to trying 5 minutes of meditation before bed until then and reporting back to him. It takes 21 days to form a habit and about 66 days to make it automatic. Most of these, I shouldn't say most, I should say all of these habits are only going to make you feel good. The only thing that will make you feel bad about these habits is the bad things that make you feel good, and it's an illusion going away. So I strongly encourage you to take up some of these tools, or even just pick one for 21 days. And it's amazing in 66 or even sooner when suddenly you realize, oh, this used to be hard. It's so easy now, and I'm feeling so much better. I think I've got one last little positive affirmation. Good things are coming your way. There's one for your bathroom mirror. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll go ahead and take questions. Those 5+ pages.
Hi, Megan. How are you?
I'm
you
great.
for all that.
You're
Challenging,
welcome.
yes, challenging. Okay, so it turns out there are not 5 pages worth of questions, because a lot of the questions, it seems, were not totally for you. They're for doctors from previous programs, and
Okay.
some of those questions work their way into this. So I'm not going to ask that unless you want them, but I don't think that's for tonight, but we do have plenty to ask anyway. All right, so firstly, I do want to thank you. We do have some questions online, and we do have these 3+ pages that came in beforehand. So firstly, I would like to ask you, can you please talk about healthy living, nutrition, symptom management, how it relates to foot drop or bladder control, exercises that support MS-related symptoms and support walking? Can you discuss that?
Yes, I can refer you to the webinar. No, I'm just kidding. So absolutely. So healthy nutrition is directly related to MS symptom management. Specifically, I think the bladder control is a great question, because one of the problems in MS, if you have bladder problems, is you usually don't drink enough water. And therefore, you get constipated. And when your belly is full of stool, it presses on your bladder and it encourages incontinence. It encourages urinary frequency. It encourages incomplete emptying. Also, high sugar, highly processed foods, lots of caffeine, alcohol really irritate your bladder. So following a plant-based diet that's healthy and full of lots of colorful foods can help your bladder, can help fatigue. One of the issues with foot drop is that as the day goes on, I'm sure that foot drop gets worse as you get more fatigued. And so if your energy level is better from more healthful eating, you'll have less fatigue. Most of the studies looking at various diets in MS, in fact, not most, all of them show improvements in fatigue and sense of well-being. Exercises specifically for foot drop, I'm not a physical therapist, so I specifically don't know what they are, but physical therapy is very helpful. So I'd ask for a physical therapy referral. There are many different types of devices that can help you with foot drop. So an ankle foot orthoses is one of them. It's a device like a little paddle that goes under your foot with a brace up the back of your calf and a Velcro strap around the front of your calf, keeps your foot up when you're walking. That conserves energy and helps with fatigue. There are also different types of shoelaces that can help hold your foot up. And there are functional electric stimulators. So they're like the walk aid and the BIONS that provide an impulse to the nerve behind your knee that flexes your foot when you have to flex it to walk. And those things all help with foot drop.
Okay, thank you for that. That was a good answer. I have a question though. What about, for going back to the plant food? I tried plant food. It was not agreeable to my stomach. In fact, I gave it up really quickly. I mean, there was just no way I could live like that, because it would be better just not to eat at all. What do you say for the people who are sensitive? I don't even want to say what came out.
Yes. So many people, when they started eating more vegetables, have a little, I would say, have digestive distress. Let's just call it. Their tummies are gurgly. They might find themselves in the bathroom more often. They might feel a little bloated. And it's really just because the belly's not used to all that fiber. So if you're not eating vegetables, I would encourage you to ease your way in. And I would encourage you to eat cooked vegetables. So you can lightly steam vegetables or put them in soups or stews. You can roast vegetables. You can start with vegetables that are less, let's say, less sulfur rich, less cruciferous, like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, bok choy, lots of beans. Those are really going to give you a lot of gas if you just weren't eating them before and suddenly you're eating 9 cups a day, for example, from the WALS protocol. So ease into it and eat them cooked or at least, steamed. That's easier for your stomach to digest, easier to get used to. And once you ease into the fiber, then your belly gets used to eating a little bit more. And you can do that, throughout the day as well. That's why I suggest adding a cup of greens to lunch and dinner if you're not eating any greens at all.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So, in addition, though, to the plant-based foods, is there anything that you suggest that should be used as an accompaniment to that?
Certainly. So when I say all MS diets are plant-based, I'm also speaking about the WALS protocol. So if you really dive into the WALS protocol, the book, which Terry Wahls wrote for people living with MS, not for healthcare providers, you will see that most of her plate is vegetables. Most of her plate are things that grow from the ground. And then she uses these other accompaniments like foods high in omega-3s like salmon, organ meats, avocado, high-fat foods to supplement the nutrition coming from the vegetables. The same thing is true with the Mediterranean or the Mind diet. Most of the plate is things that come from the ground. The same thing is true with the Swank diet. The same thing is true with autoimmune protocols. The only diet that strays from that is the ketogenic diet. And I personally don't advocate much for the ketogenic diet because of what a person loses from a nutrient standpoint in eliminating fruits and vegetables. The ketogenic diet doesn't eliminate all fruit and vegetables, but they do have specific guidelines for what you can and can't eat.
Okay, thank you for that. So for everybody to know, Terry Wahls is my guest in November, I think.
That's amazing.
Yes. So, she interviewed once with Damian Washington, who does interviews with us. But Terry asked if I would do it with her because she wants me to get more involved with everything she does. So, Megan, if you have anything that you want me to ask her,
Can I be on like for 5 minutes?
Sure. We could work that out. We could definitely work that out. All right. I have things that there are people that are saying, last night, so Dr. Hunter said that caffeinated drinks, coffee and tea are very good for multiple sclerosis. What do you say about that?
Yeah. So one of the first things I try with people for fatigue is caffeine. because it's less harmful than amphetamines, way less harmful than amphetamines.
Right.
Way less harmful than even amantadine, which is a medicine that we use to treat MS fatigue, which is highly anticholinergic and can cause dry mouth, dry eyes, constipation, urinary retention, all these things. There are really potent antioxidants in coffee. There are even more potent antioxidants in green tea. And these antioxidants are good for your brain. They're in green tea, they're cancer fighting. So I do think you can safely use caffeine in MS to manage fatigue. But if you are increasing your caffeine intake without increasing your water intake, then you're going to end up at a deficit. And if you're using caffeine for fatigue and you notice that your bladder is getting spazzy, then it might not be the best thing to use. If you're using caffeine and you're infusing it with tons of sugar, artificial sweeteners, and cream, it ain't good for you. So, so you kind of have to decide what the lesser of the evils are for you. But I agree with him. It just has to be done under the right the right umbrella, so to speak.
When I'm in a restaurant, people ask if I want coffee and what would I like in it. I just tell them I add a little water.
Wow.
I prefer the caffeine. Pure caffeine.
I prefer. Yeah, me too.
All right. So next questions. Thank you for those answers, by the way. Next questions. Could you speak about alcohol use and how long it takes to break a moderate drinking habit?
Yeah. Okay. So moderate drinking. Can we do that thing?
Yeah, we can. We can do that. I can pass it over to you. Okay. There you go.
So moderate drinking for a woman is considered 1 serving of alcohol a day. I frankly never really memorized what those servings were. I think it's 4 ounces of wine, 2 ounces of liquor, maybe 12 ounces of beer. I'm not sure what a regular beer can is. Moderate alcohol use for a man is 2 servings of alcohol a day. Any more than that is associated with increased cardiovascular risk, increased cerebrovascular risk, increased risk for certain cancers. And in women in particular, the risk of breast cancer increases exponentially with more than moderate alcohol use, and in fact, even less than moderate alcohol use. So how do you break a habit? It depends on genetics. It depends on your history of mental illness. And by genetics, I mean, is there a history of alcoholism or drug abuse or drug overuse in your family? It depends on your own history of trauma. It depends on your willpower. And so I usually advise people to start by slowly cutting down the amount that they're drinking, to critically evaluate why they're drinking, and to consider counseling or a 12-step program if it's a big problem. 12-step program being Alcoholics Anonymous. There are others out there, but that's the one that's most familiar to people. And to substitute a healthier habit in place of, oh, it's dinner time, I'm going to pour a glass of wine. Like, how about, oh, it's dinner time, I'm going to start listening to music when I make dinner. Or I'm going to have an herbal tea. For many people, it's just replacing the habit of drinking something. I like to use a magnesium powder called Calm. It's a brand called Natural Vitality. You can buy it at any drugstore that sells vitamins or any grocery store. It helps with constipation. For most people, it's safe. Tastes like raspberry lemonade. And if you're just looking for something different besides water, it's a nice drink to have with dinner. Put a little bit in water, mix it up. It's helping your nervous system. It's helping you poop. But those are ways that you can help curb a drinking habit. There are medications that can be prescribed for alcohol overuse if needed as well.
Thank you for that. Now, when you say a serving, though, are we talking about a serving or a serving?
It depends on and this is actually a serious conversation to have, Stuart. It depends on it depends on what you're drinking. So 2 ounces of alcohol.
No, so is it like normally like a shot? Or
yeah, a shot is 2 ounces.
Okay, all right.
But let me just say that I'm going to get something. Hold on one second, because we're sitting right next to my wine thing. This is the glass of wine that people used to drink out of. Like, this is what if you're like me and you still have crystal, this is your crystal glass of wine. This is the glass of wine that we drink out of now, and this is small. So imagine that I fill this up to here. Okay, and I think, I'm having a glass of wine. Nowadays, I fill this up to here. Look at the difference. So in having 1 glass of wine by my current standard glass, I'm actually having 2 to 2.5.
Right. And you're having a Gatorade. And you're having a Gator at the same time.
You're having a Gator at the same time. So another way is to use a smaller glass. Only have 1. Yeah. Sure. That's a great question. Thank you to whoever asked that.
I did. How about that? All right. So next, I'm serious. So next, all right. So Sarah is asking, can free meditation apps be repeated? Is that what she's referring, I think, to maybe what you were talking about?
Yeah. So I'm not sure about each of them, but the free app it's a download. So you have the app. Some of them may be like, well, I'm free for 30 days or I'm free for a year, and then you have to pay. Oak, OAK, is a free app. Insight Timer has a free part of it. So to sign up, when you pay for the yearly membership, then you're getting courses and all kinds of things. But believe me, there is enough free content on Insight Timer that you don't ever need a membership. I've not had a membership. I've had that app for, I think, 4 or 5 years. And I just got a membership this year because I wanted to take someone's course.
Okay, thank you. Tammy is right. Tammy's writing, I've always had very difficult time with meditation. I've tried and tried and tried. Any further suggestions?
Don't try so hard.
Okay.
Yeah, but really just the definition of meditation is taught to me by one of my yoga teachers is beginning again. So if you have a hard time quieting your mind, closing your eyes, just work on closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths. Don't worry about what your mind is doing. It doesn't matter. Eventually there will be some control over that. But if you can just close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, that's a great place to start.
Thank you. Cindy is asking how to deal with grief when one's caregiver has passed away.
That's so hard. I'm sorry, Cindy. There are a lot of resources for grieving, depending on the situation. If your loved one was in hospice usually, I would say most of the hospices that I know across the country offer a bereavement support group. And they also offer bereavement counseling. So like one-on-one counseling for family members of people who've died. Often churches and synagogues offer bereavement counseling. I definitely think that first of all, grief is normal. And in our country, we have abnormalized grief. So a person who is sad a week after their husband or mother has died is offered Prozac. And that's not normal. We should be allowed to grieve. I don't want to get on that soapbox, but grieving is normal, and healthy grieving should be encouraged. So, making a memory box or a scrapbook or something that you can go to when you want to remember your support partner. thinking about good memories, talking about them with family members and friends is really important. And if you do feel like the grieving has gone on for too long, like months have gone by and you're still not sleeping, not eating, then I would talk to a healthcare provider about medication, additional counseling, those sorts of things.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm going to add into that. I know somebody that actually created a collage of pictures. All right. And they actually put the collage of their favorite loved one's pictures onto like a shirt that they made it their night shirt. They made it their night shirt and they went to bed with that person every night. And that made them feel better. Right. And they put a collage on the wall of their office. And it just, that same picture. So the person was always with them. And then it went into the phone as well. So it was on the shirt. It was on the wall. It was in the phone. And they felt like, they were still connected.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, I love that idea.
Okay, great. You could use it in your next talk. All right. Next thing, how to increase day-to-day energy and how to conquer fatigue. Is there anything that you can put towards that?
Yeah, so first I'd evaluate your sleep. And if you are not waking up in the morning feeling refreshed, talk to your healthcare provider about whether or not it's because of pain or because you move around a lot at night, or maybe because you're not oxygenating or breathing well at night and you might need a sleep study. If you're sleeping well, you're waking up okay, and it's just simply MS fatigue that has you, exercise actually improves MS fatigue. Making some of these nutritional changes, drinking enough water, staying cool can improve MS fatigue. And then there are medications that we use to improve MS fatigue, like amantadine, modafinil, sometimes Wellbutrin, bupropion, which is an antidepressant. Ampera can improve walking speed and sometimes help conserve energy. Did I say amphetamines? I can't remember. Also taking a look at the medications that you are taking, because many of the medicines that we use for pain and spasticity cause sleepiness. And so do you still need the doses that you're on? Could you have some medication adjustments? And then checking in with your general practitioner to make sure that your thyroid is functioning right, your iron levels are okay, your vitamin B levels are okay. Those are things that you can do to kind of make a well-rounded picture of how your energy level is working.
Great, thank you for that. What about, what can you tell, before I get to the next question, what about just adding exercise? Won't that increase? Yeah,
that's the first thing I said. So exercise improves fatigue. And it seems counterproductive because you think, well, I'm too tired to exercise, or my body is too, my plug is too pulled to exercise. But exercise helps release natural endorphins in your body. It also causes the relief of BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is a chemical in the brain that regenerates. It's regenerative. So you can't, I can't say enough about exercise. And I go back to what I said earlier. It doesn't have to be what it always was for you. Moving your body improves your mood. Moving your body improves your energy level. And even doing it for a few minutes can do it. Just think about, like, when we wake up in the morning, our natural reflex, at least for me, is to stretch my body. For some of you, stretching your body might cause some spasticity, so you're careful about that. But the natural reflex is to move. And when we move, we wake up, we start, we get some chemicals going. And so if it's just a matter of stretching for 5 minutes, that can improve your fatigue.
Okay, thank you. So the next person, Barbara, has a question that's probably similar to a lot of people. I know I'm involved in this, except I don't watch TV all night and I don't have the TV on. But I hear a leaf fall and I wake up. I mean, it's crazy. So Barbara's writing, I have terrible sleep hygiene. I can't sleep without the TV on. Any suggestions on how to break this horrible habit and get a full night rest? I, on the other hand, can't stop playing games, Scrabble before going to sleep. And, in the middle of the night, my brain's thinking of a word I could be playing.
Well, so Stuart, you need to stop playing the games right before bed.
That's right.
But Barbara, I would get the TV out of your bedroom, and you're going to say, I can't do that because I can't go to sleep without the TV on. So substitute the television, substitute something for the television. What you need is probably some background noise. So you can get a white noise machine that makes like a static or an ocean or rain or something like that. Try to substitute that for the television and see if that makes a difference.
That's great. That's great. It's a very good answer. So the next is a little tacky, I guess. People want to know about Metamucil and Fiber and things like that. So
it could be tacky.
It could be a very opening experience. I'll let you speak about it.
Yeah, so if you have a hard time getting in enough fiber during the day, and the average American only gets in about a third of the fiber that they need to move their bowels regularly, then using something like Benefiber, Citracel, or Metamucil is encouraged. However, if you use a fiber supplement, like one of those things, they're bulk forming agents. So if you use a supplement like one of those without drinking enough water, then what you have is a big brick that doesn't go anywhere. So you need to make sure that you're drinking enough water, and also I'll go back to exercise, moving your body. So moving your body encourages your bowels to move. It helps you have more regular bowel movements, whatever that movement looks like for you. But yes, if you don't think you can get in enough fiber during the day from healthy foods, then using one of those things is recommended. Just make sure you're drinking enough water.
Right, thank you. RB is asking what you could tell us about medical cannabis.
A million things.
How does it help people sleep?
So depending on the state in which you live, medical cannabis is or is not legal. It's not federally legal. So I'm saying all of this because I'm being recorded. So medical cannabis helps some people sleep. Depending on the type of cannabis that they're using. For most people, cannabis indica is the kind that helps them sleep better. It's the strain. It's cannabis sativa, cannabis indica. Someone told me to remember it because the indica is like into couch. So that's how that's how you remember that it's the one that supposedly makes you sleepy. But then you also have to try different ratios of CBD to THC. Goes way beyond what we're talking about tonight. But some people do have received benefit from medical cannabis for sleep. And that may be because it's secondarily helping with sleep and primarily helping with spasticity, bladder function, neuropathic pain, those sorts of things.
Thank you for that. For those that are more interested about more to do with cannabis, we have done this in the past. You could go to our YouTube channel and type in cannabis or marijuana, and the different recordings will come up with that. Also, we're doing that again as part of many things that are being discussed on September 20th with Dr. Ben Thrower from Atlanta, Georgia, where we will be, because we're going to be doing a live event in Atlanta. Live in person and virtual at the same time. So
he's a great and safe advocate for medical cannabis.
Yeah, he is. So wish me luck on getting there and getting back and staying safe, right? Mm-hmm. All right. It's like being a warrior going out there these days. You got to go with a full
your armor.
You got to go with full cannibal garb on or something. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
All right. Next we have a person asking, what type of protein should they be eating on a regular basis?
there's an argument on how much protein a person should eat. The regular, the standard American diet says 0.8 milligrams per pound. I personally believe that's way too much. I follow more of a longevity diet type program of 0.4 milligrams per pound. I did not hear what just happened in the past 30 seconds.
Correct. You froze. So I took over the game. I took over the game. I asked Bill to contact you and let you know you froze. Okay. And I just figured I'll just start rambling, while we thaw you out. Okay.
Got it. Okay. So
I'm glad you're back, but just let me finish what I was just saying.
Okay.
So for everybody that's looking for resources, MS Views the News has covered so much in the last year and a half that all you have to do is visit our YouTube channel. We're doing between 7 and 11 programs a month, and a lot of it is classes. We have classes on yoga that Megan does once a month with us. We have Pilates, we have physical therapy. But in addition to all that, we just have had a tremendous amount of educational programs, and basically everything you want to know about multiple sclerosis, whether it be resources or contacts or the disease itself or medications or whatnot, you could find on our channel. All right, that's enough of my blab. Now you could thaw and give it back to us again.
Go back to protein. Okay, am I unfrozen?
You are.
Okay, so the general recommendation is 0.3 grams of protein per pound of body weight, which is a lot less than you think it is. So for example, a protein powder, like a vegan protein powder, any protein powder, whey protein powder that you buy at a health food store is typically going to have anywhere from 15 to 20 grams of protein in it. And that's going to be almost half of what you need to eat in a day if you're a 140 to 150 pound person. So that means then the chicken that you have for lunch and the steak you have for dinner takes you over your recommended dietary intake for protein. I tend to recommend that people get protein from plant-based sources and from fish that's high in omega-3s. So vegetables actually have protein in them. I think that's the best thing to say is that to be careful about how much protein you're eating, because it's hard on your bones, it's hard on your kidneys if you're eating too much.
Okay. All right. So we have Micah, I believe is the way to say this person's name, is saying, is there a way to increase a very low vitamin D level, 17, naturally? I've been on mega doses of vitamin D for 2 months and not feeling better. It's discouraging.
So sometimes it takes longer than 2 months to bring up your level. Another way is to get at least 20 minutes of sun on all 4 extremities between the hours of 10 and 2. That's typically how we've gotten vitamin D in the past, and that's without sunscreen.
Okay, thank you. But
yeah.
She's also saying that that she wants to feel better from it, but is that what she's really getting, or is it that it's just helping her in other ways?
That's a tough question. So we know that higher levels of vitamin D, or I should say lower levels of vitamin D, are associated with getting MS, potentially with having worse MS, with other autoimmune diseases, with cardiovascular disease. But does a person actually feel better from taking vitamin D? I personally haven't read a study on that. I've looked into the literature for depression and anxiety and vitamin D, and people who replace deficient levels feel better. But I think what you're looking to do is look at vitamin D more as helping modify your disease than, quote, feeling better.
Thank you for that. Going
Yeah.
back for a moment to what you were saying about protein, can shrimp be included on your list?
Shrimp is pretty high in fat. I think that if you are, just eating shrimp, a few times a month because you're eating other things a few times a month, that's fine. I am not I'd have to look up the protein content of shrimp.
The only reason why I said that is because I know a guy who has been eating just shrimp and pasta and being on a Peloton every day and riding a bike 10 miles a day. And he's lost, 50 pounds in less than a year. And it's just like incredible. So,
well, there is also just the simple recommendation of calories in, calories out.
Sure. Okay.
So you can lose weight that way, but it doesn't mean that you're feeding all of the chemical reactions in your body from a good standpoint.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Next, is there a difference between relapse remitting and primary progressive for healthy eating or healthy habits? Healthy habits, not healthy eating.
Between relapsing remitting and primary progressive?
Yeah. I guess the way a person could be is there certain things more that one would do over another.
Okay, so I heard that question is, does healthier lifestyles change my risk of getting one or the other? That's not what you asked.
No. I'm not asking. This person is asking, is there a difference between relapse remitting and primary progressive for healthy habits?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, the only difference would be intrapersonally, meaning how is your MS? What can you tolerate? What's your routine like? What works for you?
Okay. Thank you for that. All right. Next, how much exercise do I need to change my brain function in terms of creating new brain cells?
I'd have to Google that for an exact amount. The recommended daily activity level is 150 minutes per week. That translates to about 22 minutes a day. To actually change your brain, that probably includes, stimulating, increasing that BDNF. I'm happy to look it up while we're talking.
Okay, you can do that. But to me, that means staying up at night, thinking about how you can use your brain also. And that means lack of sleep. So now what? All right. So next I have difficulty concentrating on one subject, attempt to, but my mind wanders. Is there anything that I could do to help me concentrate better?
Yeah, so actually meditation has been associated with better concentration. Trying to decrease anxiety, if anxiety is the problem, will help with concentration. If you have always had a problem with concentration and with attending to one thing at a time, I would talk to your healthcare provider about being evaluated for either cognitive disturbance related to MS or attention deficit disorder.
Okay. All right.
And I found that answer. So exercise of 40 minutes or more offers the greatest probability of increasing brain-derived neurotrophic factor.
Great. Thank you. So whoever asked that question, there's your answer. All right. Next we have, thank you very much. Next we have, is there anything that people can do to help with balance?
Yeah. So the best thing is to ask for a referral to physical therapy, specifically for balance therapy.
Great.
And then to keep doing those exercises at home.
Sorry to cut you off. Next one I know you're gonna love. All right. Please comment on the benefits of yoga that I've been practicing since my diagnosis 19 years ago.
Oh my gosh! I bet I know who this came from.
I bet I know who. Yeah.
So the benefits of yoga specific to MS include improved fatigue, spasticity, pain, anxiety, bowel and bladder function, sleep, some components of cognition, balance. The benefits of yoga as a whole include improved glucose, improved blood pressure, cardiovascular health, improved mental health. I really can't speak enough about it, that you can hurt yourself doing yoga if you do it the wrong way with an instructor who doesn't know about what your body needs. But the physical practice of yoga helps you learn to bring in the parts of yoga that aren't physical, which are calming the brain, learning how to breathe more slowly, learning how to calm your nervous system. So yeah, there's so many benefits.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sure you have a lot more to say about that than what you just spoke about.
I could.
All right. Tamina is writing, and by the way, Tamina is from Canada. Tamina is writing, do people with MS need higher doses of vitamin D? I'm prescribed 10,000 IUs a week. I hear a lot of MS patients taking higher doses, like 25 to 40,000 a week. I asked my neuro, and he said I don't need higher dose.
Yeah, it depends on your level and how well you're responding to the dose that you're taking. I mean, that's the simple answer. Many people with MS, I would go so far as to say most people with MS, and I would extrapolate that to many people in general, have low vitamin D levels. The darker your skin, the lower your level is probably going to be, just because you are not absorbing it as well from the environment. If you have gut issues, you're not going to absorb the supplements that you take. So if your doctor's prescribed you 10,000 international units and he's measuring your level and finding you to be sufficient, then that's what you need. And some people need more than that.
Good, thank you. All right, next person's writing, what is the best way to track my habits? Hopefully this person's talking about good habits, right?
Yeah, there are many apps for tracking habits. I think the ones that people seem to like the best are, I'll call them wearable apps, or the phrase is escaping me now, but things like a Fitbit or an Apple Watch that you can put in your calories. They measure your steps or your movement. Now they go so far as to measure your heart rate variability. They measure the quality and the length of your sleep. So that's the most high-tech way to do it. Another way to do it is to choose an app. When I was tracking things like that, I used the Livestrong app, but I know there are many, many others where you actually have to put in what you ate and your calories come up. You put in your exercise, you put in your water intake. Let me check my phone here. I believe there's one for MS that actually does track water intake. You can keep talking to me. I'm just going to scroll through my MS apps.
I'm going to say something real quick. You could also do this.
Yeah, you can do that.
You could create a chart, have the days of the week, all right? And you have what you do, all right? And you write them down, and that's how you chart it. And that's the old school, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do. Okay.
Yeah, I have to sign into all these, so I can't see them right now. But there are tons of apps to monitor your life.
Right. Thank you. All right. Next, we have 4 more questions. All right, and then you could.
Awesome.
Then we could go take care of Dane and your husband and
I have to eat my veggies.
That's right, but they sound like they're asleep now. They might have gone to sleep already.
I think they're watching football.
Okay, good. All right. So next is people are writing to me that they're on the same tone as me as far as making a chart and writing everything in. To me, it's so much more simple. It's so much more simple than trying to remember where it is on my watch.
I don't have Google Outlook.
Right. Or in what app I use to get to wherever it was that I put something in, and then, hopefully it doesn't just disappear on me in there. So instead it's on notes. All right. Next person. How do I stay motivated?
Listen to this talk again.
That's right.
Yeah. So
listen to this talk. Go ahead. Sorry.
Pick a goal. Pick a goal that's like the most meaningful to you, and put that goal at the top of your list. Get a piece of paper and a pen, like Stuart just showed you. Write SMART, and write out how you want to achieve that goal.
Right. You know, you said SMART. I said, wow, what days of the week are that? Sorry. Mine would have said DUMB. Okay. All right. How can we make it easier for partners when helping partners with MS?
So have you done any support partner webinars?
No, I don't think so.
So I would refer folks to Can Do MS. There are several webinars specifically geared to support partners. And really, I mean, fine-tuning in how important it is for a support partner to take care of themselves to make it easier to take care of their loved one who's living with MS. Because much like support partners in other chronic illnesses, your health is at risk as a support partner if you don't take care of yourself. So it's that old adage of like, put on your own oxygen mask first. I definitely recommend really good, open and honest communication between the person living with MS and their support team so that everyone hears each other and they're on the same page. Maybe discussing goals, individual goals is also a good way to keep that line of communication open.
Sure. Thank you for that. Great answer. All right, next we want to know more about dealing with broken sleep patterns. I think you spoke more or less about it before, but if you can indulge this person.
Yeah, sleep is so difficult. It's probably one of the easiest things to disrupt by one night of bad sleep, right? So one night of not being able to fall asleep causes many people the next night to have insomnia, like, well, now I'm not gonna fall asleep because I didn't fall asleep last night. Or you wake up twice one night and the next night you're like, oh man, I'm gonna wake up again. What if I wake up again? How am I gonna go back to sleep? It's like the easiest thing to mess yourself up about. I think broken sleep patterns can go back to revisiting that sleep hygiene. You could use a meditation app or binaural beats, BINAURAL. It's a calming, almost sounds like spa music, but it entrains your brain rhythms to go into sleep rhythm. So if you wake up in the middle of the night, you can put those on and fall back to sleep. If you're waking up a lot at night, it could be anxiety, it could be pain, it could be restless legs. So I would talk to your healthcare provider about the need for a sleep study. Something might be found that's correctable.
That's great. Thank you. Can you spell that word out again? People are asking.
Yeah.
It's slowly.
B as in boy, I, N as in Nancy, AURAL, binaural beats. And if you have apps like Pandora or Spotify, if you search that in those apps, the music will come up. You can find them on YouTube too.
Great. By the way, everybody, we're going to be doing Spotify in the very near future. We're going to have our things put onto Spotify, which is like podcasting. So we're going to take programs we've already done and just make them podcasts. So that's going to work out well. Before I get to the last question, I want to let you all know that next week we have a Pilates class. And we also, on the 9th, I believe, we have our next educational program. I don't remember which series it is, but you can go to our website and just look in the center column of the website, and you'll find all of our events for the month of September. All right, the last question. What are the healthiest healthy habits?
The healthiest healthy habits are removal of your unhealthiest habits. So
Wow.
if you look at your life and, you know, you eat pretty well, you do your best, you move your body. Sure, you could do those things better, but you're drinking a 6-pack of beer at night. 6-pack of beer is the healthiest unhealthy habit to let go of, for example. If you're eating really well, like right out of, you know, the McDougall diet or the Walls Protocol or whatever it is that you're eating, and you're moving your body several times a week, and you have a sleep, you know, you're sleeping well, you don't need any help with that, but your mind is always like this, and your body is 1 second away from a fire alarm and all hell breaking loose, then the healthiest healthy habit for you to adapt is meditation. So kind of like that.
Another healthy habit for everybody to remember
Masking, yeah.
is masking up. In this day and age, I think we have to remember that, okay?
Mhm.
Really have to remember this, especially when you're out there.
I was
Okay.
going to get mine, but they're in my lunchbox.
Okay. Well, while you were talking before, I had to dig into my bag and pull it out. So. All right. So, yeah, it's a great healthy habit, and it will definitely help to keep you or a loved one alive. Okay. So I think that's very important. And Megan, I really, really want to thank you for everything you've done tonight. Another awesome show, and another awesome presentation. And
Thanks, Stuart.
and I love the, you know that I love having you on here. So
Thanks very much. It was fun.
We look forward to doing live programs, hopefully in the near future. We'll have to get Florida out of this mess first, and then we can get up to Jacksonville and get something going up in that area again. Okay.
Great.
But you'll have to speak to the governor about that and get it straightened out. Okay.
No, thank you.
All right. Not a problem. In the meantime, I do want to thank everybody that was on here tonight. And, please tell your friends, tell your family that want to learn, to come watch our programs. I mean, that's the best way I could say. By the way, I do not know what that thing is flashing right behind me. There is nothing there. And yet we keep seeing purple flashing.
Is
We
it
have
a
no idea what
TV?
it is. There's nothing there. It's a white wall. Isn't that strange? I told Bill before I must have a ghost behind me. And it's really, really strange. He had me position myself in front of it before, but I moved out of the way and I just saw it again. And it's just reminding me that I have a ghost behind me. So as long as I'm here tomorrow, you'll know that it was a good ghost. All right. Well, again, thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Be safe. Learn from this. And please know it'll be online in about 1 week. Everybody have a great night. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Be well.
Thanks.